You're going to love Negril. It's the perfect beach getaway that you'll be dreaming about for years to come. In order to ensure your time there is as fruitful as can be, I'll be sharing some essential things you need to know before you go. First things first, when is the best time to go? Like many Caribbean countries, Jamaica doesn't experience seasons like winter, spring, summer, and fall. Instead, it's hot all year round, and they have a rainy and dry season. Dry season usually coincides with the Northern Hemisphere's winter and spring seasons, and it hits its peak in February, perfect for escaping the wintry wonderland. Rainy season is typically between June and November. Since Jamaica is within the hurricane belt of the Atlantic Ocean, the island is susceptible to tropical storms and hurricanes, and they're at their worst between September and November. But that also means that you can probably score a really great deal on accommodation during these times, if you don't mind getting a little wet. Speaking of accommodation, there are two main areas I would suggest booking your stay. The first is along 7 Mile Beach for a sandy escape, and the second is in an area called the Cliffs in the West End. There's no beach there, but you can jump straight into the ocean from, you guessed it, the cliffs. Here's a list of hotels I've either been to or heard really good things about. Now, you might be wondering, how do I even get to the hotel from the airport? Well, it's a rather long 2-hour journey from the closest airport, which is Montego Bay's Sangster International. So make sure you get a transfer included in your resort fee, as a 2-hour taxi can be very expensive. Which leads me to talk about currency. Jamaica's official currency is the Jamaican dollar. Here are the current exchange rates for other common currencies. But it's important to note that most vendors and businesses also accept American dollars, some of them even preferring to be paid in American dollars. However, don't be surprised if they provide their change in the equivalent Jamaican dollar amount. When it comes to tips, Jamaica follows a similar unspoken rule to the United States and Canada. A minimum of 10 to 15% is expected, and you can even go up to 20% if the service was exceptional. I came across a really great article on Wise that gives more detail and tip suggestions in Jamaica, and I'll link it in the description below. Speaking of Wise, it has become an indispensable tool for me when I travel. I got tired of having to go to the currency exchange and getting gouged on exchange rates, plus I prefer to pay by card instead of crowding my wallet with too many bills and coins. So, I got the Wise debit card, which allows you to hold up to 50 currencies on one account. And the rates are so much lower than your bank or the currency exchange. If you're interested to find out more about Wise, I also have a referral link in the description below. If you're looking for things to do in Negril, I created an entire video dedicated to my top 5 picks. You can watch it after this one. And now for the best part, the food. For breakfast, Jamaicans like to eat savory as opposed to sweet. Some staples are callaloo, a leafy green vegetable usually cooked with onions, garlics, tomatoes, thyme, and a Scotch bonnet pepper. There's also ackee and salt fish, where ackee is a savory fruit with a soft texture and nutty taste, and salt fish is usually cod. The combination might seem surprising at first, but you have to try it before you deny it. There's also fried dumplings, which are very different from the Asian fried dumplings. The best way I can describe it is that it's a mix between bread and a donut, only just slightly sweet. They're sometimes also referred to as Johnny cakes. For lunch and dinner, there are plenty of great staples to choose from too, like the famous jerk chicken, curry goat, Jamaican patties, lobster, and fish escovitch, essentially fried snapper topped with a mixture of onions, bell peppers, Scotch bonnet, and vinegar. And of course, to drink, none other than a red stripe. Once you've had the time of your life in Negril, you're going to want to bring back some souvenirs to remember your trip by. I always love bringing back some culinary mementos, and here are some you should be on the lookout for at the local supermarket. First, Blue Mountain Coffee. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's worth the hype. I personally am not a coffee drinker, so don't come at me. But what I do know is that it's very expensive, and packaging can also be misleading. If you want the authentic stuff, make sure to look for labels that indicate 100% Blue Mountain coffee and avoid High Mountain coffee or blends. Of course, there are also jerk spices and marinades, Jamaican curry powder, Scotch bonnet sauce, and of course, canned ackee and callaloo. I hope this video has been helpful with planning your upcoming trip to Negril and Jamaica, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching!